off and tell us about who you are and what you do on Rocky Top.
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Todd. My name's Julie Gillette. I'm the Associate Director at One Stop Student Services. Hopefully, many of you have already come into contact with One Stop already, but if you're not familiar with our team, we answer questions related to undergraduate admissions, financial aid and scholarships, registration through the registrar's office, and the university bursar's office, so payments and billing and that sort of thing. So I'm here to answer any questions. Usually finances, whether it be financial aid or billing, is kind of the most questions I get this time of year, but I'm happy to help in any way I can. Thanks for having me.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ashley Moyer, and I serve as the director in the Center for Student Engagement at the University of Tennessee. I am here to represent the leadership and engagement area. So anything that we can answer about getting your student involved and getting connected, finding their sense of belonging on campus, that's what we're here to do. And that can be through alternative breaks, through getting connected through clubs, organizations, Greek life. So I'm here to answer any kind of questions like that, and I'm excited to chat with y'all tonight.
Hey there, my name is Ashley Arthur. I'm the marketing manager for Vault Dining. So we're here to help make sure that all the students in our campus community are well fed. If that means that we need to work with you directly for any dietary restrictions or learn how to use your meal plan, navigate campus. We do have over 40 locations on campus, not including our catering and bakery. So we have lots of options for you all. And we're here to help and make sure that dining is the least of your worries while you're on campus.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tanera Till Tate, and I'm the Executive Director of Parking and Transportation. So my office responsibility is making sure that you're able to move around campus safely. And also we provide parking, whether it's for an on-campus student or for a commuter student. So here to help and serve you in any way. And nice to meet everyone virtually.
And good evening, everyone. I'm Megan King. I serve as an assistant director in the Academic Success Center, and our office focuses on all things academic success and learning support. We offer services like one-on-one professional coaching with our academic coaches. We also have learning support in terms of tutoring across campus, supplemental instruction, things of that nature. So all things to kind of help your student be and feel successful in their courses are things that we focus on here at the Academic Success Center. So thank you for having me. I look forward to answering your question.
Awesome. Thank you, panelists, and thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate all of the insight that you're going to share tonight with our attendees. So in the same order that we went for introductions, I want to start with a question for everybody. And just let's start off. What is one piece of advice that you would give to a new student or the family members of a new student that's beginning their journey on Rocky Top this spring?
I don't know if I like going first, Todd, but here we go. So there's lots of tips that we could give. I'll give the first one is to, if you're not already, be checking your email frequently. All of us are probably going to say that multiple times throughout this, but that is the official form of communication for the University of Tennessee. We know that you are busy with school, work, friends, activities, all those type of things. And so we do our best not to spam you. So if we're sending you something, we feel like it's important and want to make sure that you read it. Help us get it on your phone. Let us help you get it on your phone if you need it. But make sure you're checking that daily, if not multiple times a day.
That is a great piece of advice, Julie. I would also say make sure that your student is checking Vol Connect and connecting through using Instagram to connect through. I would say shameless plug for our office, UTK CSE for programs, right? There's always something to do. Your student is only going to be in the classroom and studying really about 20% of the time. So there's about 80% of the time that they need something else to engage them, making friends, getting connected outside of the academics. And so just know that there's always something to do. There's programs, there's events, there's activities, there's clubs, there's organizations. And so encouraging them to kind of step outside and connect in some other way outside of the academic world. In addition to, I should say.
My favorite piece of advice is please encourage your students. And if students are on here, please don't be afraid to ask questions. If you don't know something, if you're, scared to ask, we are here for you. We want to make it easier for you. So ask questions if that has to do with where can you go eat, where can you use your meal plan, or any of the other panelists on here. We don't know what to help you with if you don't let us know. So don't be afraid to ask questions. A lot of our offices are right there centrally located. Come talk to us. A lot of times we'll get calls from parents that are states or time zones away, and the students right there on campus. So come talk to us and don't be afraid to ask questions.
I think for me, the biggest thing also is checking emails, because we do from time to time send a variety of those out as it pertains to lot closures or anything construction related. A lot of the time it's more so for users that do have parking permits. So anything outside of that, we will communicate mainly through our website. So as far as everything parking related, we do have a couple of apps that we try to encourage end users to download, because we are embracing the lovely world of technology. We have a new app called Volpark, which is more like a crowdsourcing app that would try to help with navigation to and from particular lots on campus. And we also have an app for our buses, which is Passio Go, which also gives real-time information about where the buses are. So with that being said, we try to have a two-way communication. If there's ever anything that is not familiar or readily available online, I would say to contact our office via phone. Thanks.
And I would say use your resources here. You know, when you're a student, everything comes, it's free. So you have free tutoring, you have free counseling services. You know, use the people, the resources that are there for you. And like Ashley said, if you don't ask for help, you don't really know what's available to you. So ask for help and see, is there tutoring in this class? Is there supplemental instruction? Can I go to office hours? Can the TA help me? You know, go to the counseling center. There's so many different things, so many resources that we offer for students that are literally at their fingertips. And so my biggest piece of advice is just use it. Use what's here for you and take advantage of the workshops, the programming, all the things that are here to get you connected, not only academically, but also socially.
All fantastic advice. Thank you, panelists. Tanera, I want to turn it over to you because we've had some questions already coming in, and I want to make sure that we cover it both for our live participants and those who may watch our recording later on. But can you kind of just break down for us kind of the parking process overall? You know, how does a student get a parking permit? What options are available for parking permits for this spring? And any other big information that you want to share about what the parking situation looks like. But I also think if you don't mind to hit on also our bus system and some of the other options for transportation that's available for students. I know I just threw a lot at you. I'm going to be quiet now so you can get through all that.
Yes, you did. Okay, so currently right now we still have parking available. So since the semester has ended, we are still in the process of issuing refunds. So based on that, we're able to kind of get an outlook of what availability we will have for the spring semester. Based on the occupancies from the fall, we were able to allocate some additional parking. So currently we have what we call the core spaces, which are select locations on campus that are centrally located to several buildings. And we also have intermediate and remote options as well. So if you need assistance as far as looking at some of this, we have our campus map available online, and it should say spring 2025, so that you can familiarize yourself with some of those locations on campus. We also have a new park and ride, which allows for a 10-minute headway, which currently right now is at the Civic Coliseum. So it is our most economical parking option available, because right now it costs $49.50. And so that is available right now as we speak. I think sales open up sometime in January for new students. So the only caveat right now, we're not able to sell online due to the fact that most of our inventory is in the office. So students would have to visit us on site to be able to make those purchases. Also, we do have a bus system where we have 10 various routes on campus. We have what we call the Neyland Express, which gets you from one point A to point B. And other various areas, but it just mainly depends on what your major is and what areas you need to access. So I would say to go ahead and familiarize yourselves with our transportation options online to try to see what those places are where the bus stops are, and to go ahead and download our Passio Go app so that you can have the real-time information available to you once school starts. But it's probably best to go ahead and familiarize yourself because you can actually see the movement of the buses at any given time. Also, we have a new partnership with CAT. So we're able to allow for students to ride the CAT bus as well. So for those students that do not have vehicles on campus, you still have the ability to be able to do some shopping. So there are some areas centrally located to campus to be able to make purchases, whether it's in the form of groceries and also, anything related to downtown or food offerings if you're trying to go off campus. Currently, we were able to offer a pilot program for airport shuttle. I'm not exactly sure if this would be something that we will be able to expand, but based on the feedback that I've received and some of the TDM, which is our transportation demand management options, we're going to try to expand these offerings to students. But whatever information that we will have will be available online. So stay tuned.
Thanks, Tanera. A lot of great information, a lot of important information, especially as students are getting ready to come back to campus soon. So I appreciate you sharing that.
You're welcome.
Ashley, Arthur, we're going to move to you and talk about dining. So students, of course, have a lot of different options for dining on campus, and that includes a few different options for dining plans. Can you kind of break down what those dining and what those meal plans look like, some of the important details that students and families should know, and how they go about, acquiring one of these meal plans or one of these dining plans?
Yeah, so another loaded question, thanks. But basically for our students coming in the spring, whether you're a first-time freshman and this is your first semester you're starting, or if you're a transfer student and you're classified as a freshman, if you're living on campus, you are going to be required to have one of our unlimited meal plans. That can be a little confusing halfway through the year. So if you see that pop up, just call our office. We'll explain it to you. The unlimited plans do give you unlimited access into our dining halls where we have 2 all you care to eat and 1 meat and 3 option casual sit down restaurant. Cash equivalency that you can use at our retail locations and our national brands, as well as dining dollars. So it's an all-inclusive plan you can use all across campus. We also have weekly plans, so meals per week, blocks of plans, so meals per semester. And then we also have all dining dollar plans, which is just dollar for dollar funds that you can use at any of our campus locations. Lindsay did drop that URL into the chat. So if you want to look at all of those plans or if you have any questions when they put our contact information up, please give us a call or an email. We do have an admin and my marketing team that are in there that are always answering your questions. Now, if you choose not to have a Vol dining plan, then you are going to be assessed the 300 Flex plan. And so at the University of Tennessee, they've done a lot of studies across the country showing that if you don't have to worry about food, if you don't have to worry about cleaning dishes, buying groceries, taking that time, then your GPA is going to be higher. And so they do have that 300 Flex plan that's going to be assessed to anyone that doesn't have a Vol dining plan, and that you can use at any of our campus locations as well, and some off-campus locations, and you can look on the website to see where you can use that. So it's one or the other. If you're a first-time freshman, it might look a little different. If not, you have a couple of options.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate it. Going now to Julie. So as students are coming in, a lot of them are receiving scholarships likely from outside sources. And so what does the process really look like for students who are receiving these scholarships? What paperwork do they need to do? How do they need to process these so these can be added to their account with UT?
Yeah, so external scholarships, so grateful for donors and people who are willing to give out scholarship money to students. Most of the time, they just need to know where to send the check. If they need something from us, we're happy to provide it. Every so often, we see a donor that wants a verification of enrollment form or for something for us to fill out. So if you need us to give them something, please contact us so we can make sure you get that document to them. But if they don't need anything, which is the majority of the time, they just need to know where to send the check. You would send a check, or they would send the check to us. We ask that they include your student ID number with it, which is that 000 number. Starts with those 3 zeros. So especially if you have a common name, we want to make sure that we know exactly who that check belongs to. And so when you send it to us, we process it and add it to your financial aid account, and it pays out. I will say that that can take a few days. It's not the same as just handing us over like a personal check. It's coming straight from your account, but it's because it's a scholarship check, it's got to be added to your financial aid. So it's a couple extra steps. So we encourage you to send those sooner rather than later. If you have them. The payment due date for spring term, if you were already registered for classes, is the 13th. So that is Monday. For those of you who may not be registered yet because you are attending orientation next Friday, your payment due date will be January 31st. I know that's confusing. So if you have questions about when is your payment due based on when you registered or anything like that, please call us and we'll make sure that you know. Back to Todd's question, if you have an external scholarship check, have them mail it to us and we will get to processing it and putting it on your account.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie. I appreciate it. Megan, moving to you, students will begin hearing soon about their Vol Success Team. Can you tell us a little bit about who are these people in their Vol Success Team? How do they support their student? And how do they connect with their Vol Success Team?
Yeah, of course. Your Vol Success Team, this is a group of individuals who are dedicated to helping your students succeed while they're here at UT. And it includes 3 individuals. So first you have your academic advisor, and the advisor is somebody who's going to be helping your student navigate their curriculum. They're going to help them pick their classes each semester, making sure that they're meeting really specific benchmarks within their colleges and their curriculum. And they're going to make sure that they're getting from point A to point Z to make sure that they get to graduation. Now, the second person on the team is going to be that academic coach who is in the Academic Success Center, or if you do have a student who is in honors, they may have an honors coach. And we are the people who are going to be making sure that your student is successful in the classroom. So they're going to make sure that they feel equipped to be successful taking tests and studying, note-taking, all of those skill sets that a student needs to be successful in a rigorous academic environment. That's what your coach is going to do for you. And then the third person on their success team is going to be their financial aid counselor. And so this is just the person that it can go to talk to anything related to financial aid. So if they do have questions regarding scholarships or financial aid or anything like that, that person is there to support them. These 3 people, really, you can get in touch with them in different ways, but that Vol Connect app that a few folks have already mentioned is the best way to connect with your Vol Success team. So your student, when they go on that app, they're actually going to see their team listed on there. They're going to see their coach, they're going to see their advisor, and they're going to see who they can speak to within financial aid. They can make appointments with these folks right on Vol Connect. They can, get their email, contact information. So that one app is going to be able to connect them in so many different places. They can also visit, visit their visit our website to, get more information about coaches, and of course, email these people. But that Vol Connect app is really the best way, one, to see that success team and then be able to contact them directly.
Awesome. Thanks, Megan. I appreciate it. Great information. Ashley Moyer, moving to you now. So as students are coming to campus, what do you recommend and what advice do you give for students who want to get involved about how to find clubs or organizations that they're interested in, how to figure out what events are going on? Kind of what advice would you give to a new student who's just looking to get involved in different ways at UT?
Absolutely. So we are so excited. We have about 550 actually on the dot registered student organizations on campus this as of December. So the registered student organizations are back. They're growing. They're flourishing on our campus. The way to find out about all those organizations and to reach out to them is through VolLink. So vollink.utk.edu. And actually parents, families, anybody can go on there and search through these organizations. It doesn't just have to be the students. So if anybody has any interest, you guys can go on there right now and look. You can search and kind of filter through these organizations per theme. So you can look through faith-based, honors, if folks have an interest in like seniors and animals, there's different themes to those organizations. So students can get on there and search for things that may have a particular interest to them. you can reach out to those organizations directly, or we have a student engagement fair. We have 2 of those that are happening this spring. You can find out about those through Vol Connect, which has been mentioned before. It's a very critical app that your student wants to download, because you can find out so many things through that app. You can register for events through that app, and also I mentioned it before. Our Instagram, UTK CSE, is also going to have all of our events on there. Our office alone host about 150 events a year. So there are events that are happening throughout campus, but our office is the primary event host on campus. So, but I really encourage folks to check out that student engagement fair. So even if students aren't sure exactly, maybe they want to join a Pokemon club or the knitting club or what is the new? We've got a bird watching club. We've got something for everybody. So that's a great way to just kind of come out and browse and see what's out there, because these organizations, they're wanting to recruit new students. They're wanting to make friends and make connections. And of course, if you just have a student that doesn't really know what exactly they want to do or how to make a connection, we've got a group of students that are hired to just sit down and meet with students one-on-one and talk to them about ways to get involved. And they can always reach out to our office and me to do that.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley. I'll second that. Ashley's team and them are fantastic. Lots of great opportunities to get involved, and truly to kind of echo that, whatever your student is interested in, there's a strong possibility we have it at the University of Tennessee. And so a lot of unique things. It's a bustling, busy campus, but a lot of great ways to get involved. So thank you for sharing about that, Ashley. Ashley, Arthur, want to move to you now. And so if we say a student has certain dining accommodations, or they're wanting to talk to somebody about what they can and can't eat and kind of set up a plan for their dining for the semester, what would that look like? And what resources do you all offer with Vol Dining for a student who is looking for dining accommodations?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, we're here to make sure that dining is the least of your worries. You're here for academics, you're here for growth, you're here for personal development. So we are here to make your life easy. We do have a registered dietitian. Her name is Tatiana Kimball. She's great. She has a sports background, she has a clinical background, she has an education background. So she has a little bit of everything. You can easily get in contact with her through a sheet on our website. So there's a contact form. You can talk to her, submit some stuff. You can get a consultation that's totally free to our campus community. We also, if you're just in one of our locations and you have a question about what you can or can't eat, what's in a product, then we do have directors and our culinarians. So we do have several classically trained culinarians on campus. We have a residential chef for our campus, and we have one we have an executive chef, I'm sorry, for our campus. We have one just for catering, and we have one just for residential. So wherever you go, you're going to be covered in any questions that you have.
Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate that's great information. And so, Tanera, I want to move back to you and talk about a little bit about alternative transportation options. And so things like scooters or other electronic forms of communication. About any advice you have about these, kind of what's available on our campus, things like chargers, things like that, bicycles, kind of just a little bit more about students who may be using alternative transportation, kind of what options there are for campus.
So in actuality, I am working with a contractor as far as trying to expand on those options as we speak. So I will be looking towards trying to develop a whole program as it pertains to alternative modes, because we do want to reduce the number of single occupancy vehicles that we do have on campus. Currently, right now, we do have a bike rental option, and students also have the option of bringing bikes. But I do want to try to expand on some of those rental offerings at some point, but that is to be determined as we try to determine out of all the strategies that have been recommended, which ones will be feasible to promote for students. We do also have scooters on campus. I think we have a contract with either Bird or Lime, and more details about that can also be accessed from online from us.
Awesome. Thanks, Tanera. Julie, back to you. And so as students and families are working through their accounts and everything, we know a lot of times students want their family members to have access to their account information. Can you kind of describe and tell us through, for students who do want this, how they can have families and supporters set up on their accounts where they can view their items, kind of help them take care of some of the business that's going on with their account with UT?
Yeah, Todd, this is so important. And so students' financial and academic record is protected by federal law. We call it FERPA. Sometimes you'll hear it called authorized users here at UT, but it's similar to HIPAA, like the medical piece. And so students are able to add parents, family members, supporters, whoever they would like to have access, specifically for my office, talking about the financial side. And so it's always a tough conversation to have a family member or a supporter on the phone trying to navigate all the red tape that sometimes comes with financial aid. And I can't tell them specific information because the student hasn't authorized anybody. So I always tell students that if they want to handle their account and their financial business all by themselves, I think that's great. They definitely don't have to add anyone as an authorized user, but most students, myself included, when I was a student, I needed somebody to help me with some of those things. And so it's important that they add them as an authorized user. Students can do this through their MyUTK account. What they will do is they will add the other person's email address. That other person will get an email letting them know that they've been authorized and a link to their own payment portal. So that third person, or the other person, I should say, has the option to go in and view the bill and make payments. Also email us on behalf of the student, call on behalf of the student. It just really opens up that conversation with members of my team once that person is authorized. Again, we can always share generic and general information, but we can't share specific student financial aid or billing information without somebody being authorized. So students, if you're on here and you want somebody to help you, please add them in your MyUTK. Parents, family members, supporters, if you are on here, it's important for you to have that conversation with the student now about what level of involvement they want you in and adding you if that's where you guys land on things.
Awesome. Super important information, Julie. Thank you for sharing about that process. Megan, want to turn back to you now and talk about tutoring services at the University of Tennessee, because we have really expansive tutoring services and different things for academic success for students. So can you tell us a little bit about what tutoring services are offered and how students can access these tutoring services throughout the semester?
Yeah, of course. So we have a lot of different learning support services across campus. And so within the Academic Success Center, we do have the Vol Study Center, which is 100% free. So we tutor in over 300 classes every single semester. These are completely free to students. We provide a list. If you go onto our website, we have a list of all the classes that are offered. We offer in-person tutoring, virtual tutoring, multiple locations across campus that are convenient for students. Students can make appointments on the Vol Connect app. They can also request appointments on our website. We actually have a way for students to request like ongoing appointments. So if your student needs a one-on-one 1-hour appointment with a tutor for chemistry every week, we can work with our coordinators to get that set up for them. We aren't the only tutoring service on campus. I do want to say that while I love Vol Study Center, students also have access to the Math Place, which is in the library in Hodges Library that focuses, of course, on your math courses. They also have access to the Writing Center. They have the Chem Tutorial Lab. The engineering department has a tutoring center. So there really are learning support services all over campus. And the way that they make appointments in those different areas outside of the Vol Study Center might be a little bit different. Like Math Place, for example, your student just walks in and sees if there's a tutor available. Our appointments when Vol Study Center are one-on-one appointments, so you do have to make them through that app, like I said. We also offer something called supplemental instruction, which is a little bit different. So if your student is kind of uncomfortable with one-on-one tutoring, this is group tutoring. So it's offered for tons of classes every semester. Essentially, you have a student leader sits in class with your students, and then every week, twice a week for the entire semester, they offer these sort of group tutoring learning sessions where students go over problems from class, they go over content, and it really just helps to reinforce things that, the instructor talked about in class. So all of our information can be found online. There's Canvas shells. Again, all the schedules, all available on our website. So you just need to access that website and everything is right there for you.
Thanks, Megan. I appreciate it. So moving now to Ashley Moyer. So as we're talking about getting involved, we love to live into our volunteer spirits and giving back to our community through service. And so can you kind of talk about how that looks on campus, how students can get involved in service opportunities, how they go about registering for volunteer opportunities, kind of breaking down what that process looks like here at the University of Tennessee.
Yes, absolutely. We have a great portal called Serve UTK, where students are encouraged to go on. They can log in at any time and search through hundreds of service opportunities that exist to help them connect them through opportunities through the Knoxville community. So that's just one way. We have partnerships with, I said, hundreds of agencies throughout the Knoxville community. By doing so, students do not have to, but we really encourage them to track their service hours. There's an incentive there. We students that conduct and participate in over 1,000 service hours are able to receive a service medallion that they're able to wear at graduation. So that's really something that we encourage, that really students really embodying the volunteer spirit. We also have a great alternative break program. It's one of my favorite things that we do. One of my favorite things that I did as an undergraduate student was participate in a volunteer break, which is students that an opportunity where you can use your fall break or spring break, or sometimes even a summer break or a mini break, to engage in a service opportunity. It can be international. We have breaks that go as far as Costa Rica. We've gone to Prague as close as Asheville. And we have applications available right now for the spring break service trips, and those are available on their website, which is leadserve.utk.edu.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate it for all that information. Ashley, Arthur, moving back to you. So I want to break down, because one thing that I know when I came to work at UT, I kept hearing about, but had no idea what it was, were these things called pod markets. So can you tell us about what are these pod markets, what's available at those, and kind of the breakdown of what those offer to our students?
Yeah, so pod markets, pod stands for provisions on demand. When I said earlier we had over 40 locations, 11 of those are pod markets, and they're everywhere. They're on every corner of campus, all the way from the Ag campus to Xena, all the way up from Laurel on the north side, all the way down to Stokely. So pod markets are in academic buildings, they're in residential buildings. They have a little bit of everything. It's kind of like it is a convenience store. They have snacks, they have whole meals, whether it be grab and go. Through one of our local vendors, we actually use HT Hackney, which is local out of just down the road in Knoxville. So they provide fresh sandwiches and salads and fruits that you can use your meal plan with, snacks from your favorite like Frito-Lay, Nabisco, all that good stuff, beverages from Coke. And then we also, depending on how large the pod market is, some are pretty small, some are quite large, have toiletries and shampoo and Ziploc baggies and Scantrons and chargers and hats and gloves, a little bit of everything. And then one thing that we haven't really put out yet, but that is confirmed, is that Rocky Top Pod, which is one of our largest, if not the largest, located in Rocky Top next to the Chick-fil-A, where our dining hall is on the west side of campus. That is actually going to serve late night options now. And so there are a couple different food options going in there, but for sure I know there will be personal pizzas that are hot and fresh for you. Maybe if you're studying and you get out of the library at 11:30, you have that option of a hot fresh pizza that'll be continuously made from our dining hall staff until close. So pod markets, if you need anything from a pencil to a full meal, they're there for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate it. Looking for our next question, moving to Julie. So a lot of students will have work study that's offered in their financial aid package. So what does the process look like for students to figure out what opportunities are available for this work study, how they kind of acquire those positions? Kind of break down for us what work study kind of looks like from the start till they start that position.
Absolutely. So federal work study is funds given to the university from the federal government as a financial aid award. Eligibility for that is based on the information submitted on the FAFSA. It goes to highest need, and we give it out until we have no more. So the government gives us X amount of money and we award it to as many students as we possibly can. That money is different from all other types of financial aid. Students who accept the award on their MyUTK account are notified to start the process of working at a job on campus. And we have so many different options for jobs on campus. And then the student will go through that process, which I can explain in just a second, and then they get paid bi-weekly to their pocket. So other financial aid applies towards your billing statement, but this type of financial aid through Federal Work Study is given to you in a direct deposit to your bank account for you to use for other expenses that you have while you're at school, whether that be food or personal expenses or entertainment or whatever, whatever you may need it for. So that's how Federal Work Study works. Like I said, if it's offered to you through your financial aid package, you accept it on your MyUTK account. And then you work with, we have a couple people that work with us that help students fill out the paperwork, employment paperwork, to onboard you. So you will work with that team of people to fill out the paperwork to be employed by the university, including like pay stub information, like account information, and then like filling out with like your identification, things like that, true employment paperwork. And then we also have a link on our website where you can search for the job you want. We love students working on campus. We have a whole team of students that work in my office, and I would probably guess that every single one of the people on this webinar with me probably have students that work in their office through Federal Work Study as well. It's a great opportunity to earn some extra dollars, really great hours. We know your students first, and so we usually work with students on their schedules to make sure that they're attending class first and they get what they need through their education, but also able to work the hours that they need to earn some extra income. So a lot of times, if you want no nights and no weekends, you work in an office like mine that's not open in nights and weekends. Or if you do want nights and weekends, there are offices that have students that do work nights and weekends. And so you can really find something that fits your schedule, especially if you don't have a car and you can't drive to an off-campus job. I'm rambling a little bit, Todd, but Federal Work Study is a great option. If you've been offered it, accept it on MyUTK and then reach out to us and we'll help you get the onboarding process started.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie. That's great information, a great breakdown of it. I'll also just kind of chime into and add as well, if you're a student who may not be eligible for Federal Work Study, but are still looking for employment opportunities, there are several both on and off campus. And so these are still ones you can access. I'll also shout out Ashley Arthur as well, because a lot of our dining services will also hire students and work with our students. And so even if you may not have been eligible for Federal Work Study, there are still opportunities for you to, work part-time while you're in school, while you're here in Knoxville, to receive funding to go towards tuition or towards expenses or other things that may come up. So thank you again, Julie, for answering that for us. Tanera, I want to jump back to you and thinking about, we have students and families that want to come visit. And as they're visiting, they may want to be going around campus or checking out some things that Knoxville has to offer. And so if students do have visitors that are coming to campus, what does parking look like for visitors on our campus, where they can park, what that process looks like, kind of all of those good things?
So we have hourly parking on campus through Park Mobile. So right now we have over 1,000 different spaces that are allocated for visitor parking. The majority of it will probably be either Volunteer Boulevard West or in Ball Hall. So I would say it's probably best to visit us again online prior to, and then if you download the Ballpark app, that's also a great tool to have to kind of know what availability looks like at any given time as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Tanera. I appreciate it. Megan, moving to you. We're thinking about you talked about the Vol Success Team and part of that being an academic success coach. Can you kind of break down how often do students meet with their academic success coach, and kind of what would you recommend? What are great times that, for a student to connect with their coach? What all that specific coach can offer, and what that process can really look like for a student, both kind of during those regular meetings, but also maybe when they're looking for some additional coaching as well.
Yeah, how often a student meets is honestly up to that student. We definitely recommend to meet with your coach at least once during a semester. Come in the beginning of the semester, talk to your coach about the classes that you're taking, what's happening with life outside of the classroom, and really how you're feeling. And oftentimes, just based on that first conversation, your coach will be able to sense, oh, do they need to come in for more? And they might recommend, hey, why don't we try these strategies, come back in 2 weeks? Or, you know what, I'll see you in a month. Or, you know what, everything sounds good. And so it really depends on what the student needs. most students will see a coach at least once as part of their first year seminar course. And so, they will get a chance to meet their coach, to talk to their coach, to have a really great one-on-one session. And then depending on what they want, what they need, it'd be sort of on their terms. So it is up to the student to make those appointments with their coaches. Coaches will send out emails to their students probably on a bi-weekly basis. Students are assigned to their coach based on the college that they're in. So we didn't talk about that. So an engineering student will have a coach who works specifically with engineering students. So they know the pulse of the semester. They know what's going on. They know when exams are coming. And so the coach will be reaching out periodically, checking in. Hey, how are you? How are you doing? Come on, let's meet. But it's going to be up to your student to take that next step to meet with their coach. Once they meet with them, again, the coach can decide how often they should meet, kind of what that will look like. So it is a very individualized process. And we do recommend, though, at least once a semester, come in the beginning, maybe 3 times. Come in the middle, come in the beginning, come in the middle, come visit your coach at the end, just to kind of talk about what went well this semester, what could you do different next semester, and what are you excited about in the spring. So again, while most students will meet once, we have students come weekly. Honestly, it's really just going to be how your student feels, how they're acclimating to the semester, and really what kind of support system they feel like they need, throughout their time here at UT.
Thanks, Megan. I appreciate that's all great information regarding that. So thank you. Ashley Moore, we're moving it back to you. And so we have a lot of students that as they come into the University of Tennessee, they're interested in Greek life. And so can you kind of tell us a little bit about our Greek life community here on campus, as well as if there are students that are interested, what some of that important information might be that they need to know if they're looking to participate beginning this spring?
Absolutely. Yes, we have a very, very robust Greek life community on our campus. We have 4 very active councils. We have our Multicultural Greek Council, our MPHC Council, our IFC Council, and our Panhellenic Council. There is a lot of information on our website, gogreek.utk.edu, and I can speak for certain about our IFC and our Panhellenic communities right now. Both of them are going to have open recruitment happening right now. There are open applications for our IFC chapters and our Panhellenic chapters. So we call for our Panhellenic chapters our continuous open bidding. And folks can go online and register right now for those. For Panhellenic, there's an open house. It's going to be important to both apply and complete that application, and also attend an open house that's happening on January 21st. For our fraternities, there's also an open application that's open right now, and it's going to be closing on January 21st as well. So I would say go to that Go Greek website. You can click on a tab that says, oh my goodness, it says join us now. And so all your information is available right there. For our multicultural Greek organizations and our MPHC organizations, those are going to be a little bit different timelines and processes for joining those organizations, but all of that will be available through their website, and any of their staff folks can also answer any questions. But yeah, right now our IFC and Panhellenic organizations are looking for new members, and it's a very robust and active Greek community on our campus.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley. I appreciate it. For our last few questions, panelists, we're going to kind of do this round robin style. So we want to hear from all of you for our last few, as we are starting to approach the end of our session together. So we'll go in the same order we went in the beginning. But the first question I have is, what is a resource on campus that could be within your department or that may be outside of your department that you think is really important, or that you think students should know about and utilize while they are here?
I think the best resource, is trying to think of things we haven't already talked about. But I will say this, and I know I'm probably speaking for everybody here. But the people at One Stop specifically, because that's my office, are here to support you. So we are located in Hodges Library, so in the center of campus. And we are walk-in service, so you don't have to make an appointment. We wanted to be in the library because that's one of, if not the busiest building on campus. And so we want to be where the students are. So we want to be available to you as you're going to Starbucks or OIT or the math center that Megan talked about earlier. So if you just want to stop and ask a quick question. So the people of One Stop have been cross-trained in so many areas, whether it be financial aid or billing or policies and procedures through the registrar's office or transferring credits and things like that. And so we just have so much information. Our name gets us in trouble because One Stop doesn't know literally everything, but we can usually point you in the right direction if you stop and ask us a question. So Todd, as cheesy as it sounds, the people at One Stop are probably our most valuable resource.
I think all staff at UT, I mean, we're here to support students. That's why we're here. And so I would say come visit us in the Student Union on the first floor of the Center for Student Engagement. We're here to help students get connected and involved, but also a plug for our Dean of Students team and Smokey's Pantry, resources that were available for basic needs for students that are relatively new that I know weren't there 10, 20 years ago. We have a pantry for food, and that's available to any student if they just need to grab a meal. I think that's just a wonderful resource. And Todd, actually, you could probably speak a lot more about that than I could, but I think this is just a wonderful thing that exists. Our emergency fund for students that may have a small financial need to get them kind of out of a bind. Clothing kind of pantry that we didn't used to exist as well. And so if students just need somebody, they just need somebody to talk to, they can reach out to the Dean of Students office and we will connect them to a resource and somebody that can help them. And we just have a whole team of people that are here to help them be successful.
Yeah, that's great. I'm actually going to kind of go on that a little bit more with dining. Follow all of our Instagrams. That's where we put a lot of our updates, especially if you don't look at emails. But we have all sorts of programs and resources that a lot of people don't know about. And you don't know what you don't know. So, like Ashley was talking about Smokey's Pantry, we have a partnership with Food for Vols where any of our surplus is taken by the Culinary Institute and they repurpose that into meals for those who need it. We also have lots of sustainability programs like the Mug Project, where you can save some money by bringing in your own mug and getting refills with your own cup, saving, a cup, a lid, a straw, things of that nature. So just follow us on our social medias and see what we're putting out there because that really is some of the most pertinent information for students.
I guess for me, I kind of used CAT as an acronym, but that is our Knoxville Area Transit system for the buses. I will say they do have an excellent trip planning tool on their website. So if you're interested in expanding out to various areas of Knoxville, I would say to definitely use that as a resource. Also, my enforcement staff are usually out in the field, and I kind of consider them my ambassadors. So they're pretty well versed about areas of campus that everyone may not know about. So I would say if you definitely see them out in the field, ask them questions and become familiar with some of the areas of campus where you can park safely and where you cannot park safely. So they will be good resources for you as well as my frontline staff in the office. They're very friendly and ready to serve. So whatever questions you may have, a lot of my staff can answer that for you.
All right, and I guess I'll finish up. So, I mean, obviously the Academic Success Center resources are just so amazing, from our coaches to all of our peer leaders, our tutors and supplemental instruction leaders. They're all so amazing. I mean, really just helping your student be successful in the classroom is going to be so important. But another resource that I know I used a lot when I was a student was the counseling center. School is really stressful, from the academics to just the whole new experience of being in college and new social life. All of those things can get really stressful, and your students have access to an amazing set of services with the counseling center, from one-on-one to group services. We have a lot of support on campus for any student, really, again, things like basic needs. So facing food insecurities or anything like that, we have a lot of great resources. So, a counseling center to me pairs really well with the student success, because you have to sort of be, holistically supported, not only academically, but also making sure that your mental and self-care is also something they take really seriously while they're in college.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody. All fantastic resources. I appreciate you sharing about all of those that our students can utilize, because all are so important to their success, which is why we have them here at UT. So now moving to our next question for everybody, would love to just hear, what are you excited about for spring, or what's going on, or maybe a tradition that's taking place? Just what are you excited about coming up for this spring that you want to share with students, or that you encourage them to get involved in, that may be a University of Tennessee tradition or something that's going to take place this spring?
Oh, well, I'm an alum of the University of Tennessee, and so I could name 100 things I'm excited about. But I am the winter break is long, and so I am ready to see students back on campus. It's like it's very quiet around here right now when we walk around campus, and so excited for students to be back. The spring semester is very busy for my team because we are so excited about the admissions process for fall term. And so we have lots of events that will be available for our current students and our admitted students. I don't know if any summer or fall start students are in this webinar, but we have lots of events coming up. We have several, which I know this doesn't sound fun, Todd, but it is fun for us. We have lots of events surrounding submitting the FAFSA. The FAFSA changed last year and caused lots of problems. So we have lots of resources and events planned for you all, whether you're a current student or an incoming student, to make sure you can get all of that set successfully. But I mean, to be a little bit more fun than FAFSA, I am excited for baseball season to start. Obviously, we love all sports and all activities and all arts on campus, but I am a huge baseball sport fan, and so I'm excited to see the Vols play later this semester.
Speaking of baseball, yeah, we also have the Smoky Stadium that's actually opening downtown, and we've got a ticket subsidy being negotiated with them. So we're gonna have a grand opening UT student collaboration happening with the new stadium that's also opening downtown. So I'm very excited about that. We have speed friending, which is some of our popular events that we've got 2 of those that are happening this spring. It sounds a little awkward, but actually students that come to that never leave disappointed. They always make at least one connection. So I encourage you, if you have a student that maybe doesn't know a lot of people, send them our way. We'll help them make a connection. And I'm working with a student. I'm really excited about a campus-wide egg hunt that we're having called the Big Orange Egg Extravaganza. That is happening in early April. So that's just one that we've never done before that I'm really looking forward to personally.
Spring semester is actually my favorite because you get to focus more on things that aren't overtaken by all the hubbub of fall. So we have some really fun events going on in dining. We have 3 big events per year, as well as some smaller ones like a chili cook-off on National Chili Day. We do all sorts of little pop-ups and fun events with our culinarians, and we partner with a lot of people on campus in different sectors of campus and departments. We actually have our Mardi Gras big party in February. In March, we're doing our 4th annual Night in Paris. I'm really excited about that one. We have a live band come in, Parisian food, French food, all sorts of decor. And then in May, March, April, May, April, we have Knox Vegas. So we're going to do like a casino night, bring in some fun stuff, lights, all that good stuff. So we really elevate our dining experience at those events, and we have all sorts of vendors and partners and campus clubs and all sorts of fun stuff. So it's like a little dinner party. So those are my favorite things that I look forward to.
So for me, I have not been here quite a year yet. I actually started last March. And so I don't know if you have heard, but parking went through the biggest transformation it has seen in a very long time. So we had to put in a lot of work and effort in order for a lot of change that needed to happen. So just kind of seeing where that landed, and also knowing that we still have more work to do to try to bring, additional improvements to campus. I am proud to say that we were able to add 7 additional buses to our fleet, where we had 5 electric and 2 hybrids. So I am planning to expand our fleet because, as you know, the more buses I have, the less wait time students will have as it pertains to get to and from different areas of campus. I am planning on exploring some opportunities with some dynamic signage in various areas of campus related to the garages, just to, offer more of a communication tool as it pertains to events or anything related to whatever's happening in a lot. So with the advent of technology, just trying to embrace that, maybe the potential to add some additional gated facilities on campus, and trying to incorporate our TDM initiative. So a lot of work to do, and a lot of that is going to be coordinating and working with the faculty senate, the student groups, and everyone at Rocky Top. So looking forward to working with everyone and just making those incremental changes so we can stay at the top and elevate our program. So thank you.
All right. And I, at the Academic Success Center, I do oversee all of our outreach initiatives. So I do all of the programming, events, things like that. And so spring is a really fun semester. You'll find ASC coaches in Hodges Library all semester. We do really fun pop-up events where students get to interact with our coaches, as well as other academic coaches from areas like Honors, Center for Career Development, just people from all over campus. We do really cool events. Last year we did one called Pups and Cups, where we literally had puppies in the library with 3 cups of coffee. You got to sit down, snuggle with a puppy, talk to a coach. So we try to do things that are really interactive and engaging for students to just come, learn something about academic coaching, learn something maybe about themselves, about their strengths, get some study tips, but also, do something that's going to be fun and engaging. So definitely have your student look on our Instagram site, look at our website for all the different pop-up events that we're going to be doing in Hodges this semester. On the first Wednesday, so I guess the second day of classes, they can find us in Hodges. In the morning, we're going to be giving away Chick-fil-A biscuits and Panera bagels. So stop by for, a sandwich and a cup of coffee, and we'll be there to, greet students and just say hi. So things like that where we're just out and about, just trying to meet our students. And that's just, to me, the best part about what we do is we get to be out talking to students, telling you about what we do, and just saying hi and seeing how your day is going.
Awesome. Thank you, panelists. A lot of great things, and this only scratches the surface of all the exciting things that are going to be taking place on Rocky Top this semester. So, well, our time is starting to wind down. So want to do one final kind of sweep through our panelists and give you the opportunity to share any other information or advice that you have that we may not have covered yet. And then also share with us what is the best way to reach out to your office. We'll have the slide up that has some email addresses and some phone numbers, but if there's other ways you recommend for students to get a hold of your office or contact you if they have questions, for you to take time to share that now.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. So One Stop Student Services, serving as many offices as we do, we're busy all the time. And so most pertinent thing we have coming up is, again, payment for the spring semester. And so again, if you are already registered for classes or will be in the next couple of days, your payment is due on Monday. By 4:30. And so if you have questions about your bill, we want to support you. So our phone number is listed on the screen and our website. Something to note is we do not have an email address. I know that sounds weird, but we do not have an email address at One Stop. The best way for students to contact us is through their Vol Connect portal, which I know we've mentioned a couple of times throughout this session, but your Vol Connect portal, you can submit a case to us. And if you are not a student, if you are a family or supporter or something, you can use our contact form on our website to create a case that way. So I know that's a little bit different than a lot of offices or even the ones that are here with their email addresses, but that's a good way to reach us as well. Be patient with us the next couple of days. Like I said, when you're trying to have 30,000 plus people make sure their bills are paid and classes start smoothly on the 21st, there's a lot of questions that go with that, but my team will be eager to help you and serve you. Just have patience and have a few minutes to wait if you give us a call. Don't call us as you're trying to head in somewhere because it may take a second to get through to somebody, but we are there to support you. I think that, I don't know, I can't remember your question now, Todd. I hope I answered it. So.
Sorry, I had a little problem with my mute button there. I know I've mentioned Instagram, but with what we do with event planning, oftentimes we have a really short turnaround to get information out. And so I really encourage students and supporters, families to follow us on UTK CIC on Instagram, because an example would be Thompson Bowling Arena event promoter reaches out and says, we've got 50 tickets to Zach Bryan. And we could, that's where immediately we're going to put that on our Instagram, and that we're going to make that available to students pretty quickly. And so rather than send folks to our website or to call us, I would really, well, anybody can do that at any time, of course. But that one piece of advice that I would say, it was to follow us on Instagram, because we put a lot of information out there that's really timely. And that's really where we're communicating as quick as we can about things that are happening through our office.
I think the last thing I want to touch on that I don't think I talked about is that meal plans for the spring will start on the 19th. So if you have a meal plan, your swipes and your dining dollars, your flex, those are going to start working on the 19th. Other than that, the best way to contact us really is kind of what everyone else is saying. Our website has a lot of information, email, phone, Instagram for sure. Myself and my coordinator are both on the Instagram. So even if you can't even get in touch, maybe we have a lot of calls, we're inundated with emails and we can't get to it. You can DM us on Instagram, and sometimes we see that just as quick, if not quicker.
So I would say for the parking side, we do have a brand new website where we try to consolidate a lot of our information. So I will say use that as a resource. When all else fails, I will say email or call us. Information is available online. And social media, we do try to promote any type of new offerings or anything construction related as well, to use a two-way communication for students and for parents alike. So but if all else fails, I will say call or email us.
Yeah, same thing here. Visit the website. That's going to give you all of the information about the Ball Study Center, as well as all the student success services, getting our tutoring schedules, our supplemental instruction schedules, coach information. The website has all of it. If there's something you can't find on the website, email us, call us. We have a really quick turnaround. We'll be able to get your student hooked up with whatever they need, whether it is one-on-one tutoring, whether it is one-on-one coaching. That's a great way to get that information. Our events, they can follow us on Instagram. I think I'm not a social media user, UTK_ASC is the Instagram. That's going to be a great place again to just follow us for different events that we have going on.
Wonderful. Well, thank you once again, panelists, for all of this extremely helpful information that you have offered tonight for our incoming students and their supporters. I greatly appreciate you taking your time tonight to join us and to share and welcome our newest volunteers to Rocky Top. As we're closing out, for our family members that are here on the call, we highly encourage you to join the Tennessee Family Association. So this is free to join. This gets you access to different information, events, and most importantly, our Tennessee Family Hub, which has all sorts of different curated information, a lot from the folks that are on this call and even more across campus. And so please be sure you can use this link here to join the Family Association. We highly encourage you to do that. We'd also love for you to encourage for your students to come get their first day of class photo, because who doesn't love a first day of class photo? This is something that the Center for Student Advocacy and our family experience team does every semester. We'll be doing these on January 21st from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Outside the Student Union Art Gallery. And so we would love for you, make sure if you're wanting that first day of class photo from your student, make sure they know about this. Tell them they don't have an excuse now not to get it, for them to come see us and get that first day of class photo. Again, to our participants, thank you all so much for taking your time to be with us tonight. We are so excited to welcome our newest class of volunteers to Rocky Top. If there's ever anything we can do, please reach out to one of us on this call, and we are always happy to help. We can't wait to see you on campus soon, and we can't wait to meet your students. As always, go Vols and have a great night.